Greetings for the day to all, and I am Shikha Kansil. We shall be discussing the topic mean and the methods to solve mean. So, what is mean basically? The most important objective of a statistical tool, statistical analysis, is to get a single value. That single value, it describes the characteristics of the whole mass, of the entire mass of unwidely data, and hence facilitates comparison. Such a value is called as a central value or an average or an expected value of a variable. An average is an attempt to find out one single value that describes the whole of figures. This definition was given by Clark, or in a more simplified manner, a number which typically defines the whole group is called as mean. There are different types or different ways to study the central tendency. One is mean, that we will be taking today. There are two ways of studying mean. One is called as simple arithmetic mean, next is weighted arithmetic mean. The second method of studying central tendencies is median, the third is mode. Now, today we will be talking about arithmetic mean. What is arithmetic mean? The most widely used measures of representing the entire data by one value, by one single value, is called as mean, or by layman or and by statistician it is called as arithmetic mean. The value is obtained by adding together all the terms and by dividing them by the total number of items. For example, I have given here the formula x bar is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus the number of figures which we have plus xn. This n represent the last number or the last data divided by the number of data which we have is n. In a more simplified manner, we can say it as or x bar is equal to summation of x divided by n. This summation shows the addition of all this data above in the numerator and divided by the total number of n, that is the denominator, where the x bar is equal to arithmetic mean. The arithmetic mean is represented by x bar. Summation x is sum of all the values which are there in the numerator of all the variables, and your x, your n is, what is n? N is the number of observations. For example, here if we take an example, the following data gives the monthly salary of 10 employees working in an office. The incomes are given here. We are supposed to calculate arithmetic mean of the income. There are two different ways how to solve this question. One method is direct method and the other is shortcut method. First, we will find out by the help of direct method. In this direct method, what we are supposed to do is, here is we add 4, 7, we add 4, 7, 8, 0 plus 5, 7, 6, 0 plus 6, 6, 9, 0 plus 7, 7, 7, 5, 0 plus 4, 8, 4, 0 plus 4, 9, 2, 0 plus 6, 1, 0, 0 plus 7, 8, 1, 0 plus 7, 0, 5, 0 plus 6, 9, 5, 0. This gives me summation of x, which is equal to 6, 6, 2, 6, 5, 0. This is given here 6, 2, 6, 5, 0, and the total number of n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we calculate this is given as 10 employees here. So, it is divided by 10. This gives me 6, 2, 6, 5. Therefore, hence the average income is equal to rupees 6265. If I want to solve the same question by the help of the other method, this is direct method, the other method is shortcut method. If I want to solve the same question by the help of shortcut method, then we have another formula which tells x bar is equal to a plus summation d over n. Now, what is the d here, what is a here? Your a is called as the assumed mean. Assumed mean is all the income which was given here. We will presume that one of the income could be the mean. You can take any. For example, I have taken here 7,000. This 7,000, out of this I can take any. I have taken a as 7,000. Now, your d is equal to x minus a. X was given as your income, this is x, and a is assumed mean here, which I have taken 7,000. So, if I subtract my x from 7,000, I will get my small d. 4780, I am supposed to reduce it from 7,000. So, 4780 minus 7,000, 5760 minus 7,000 gives me minus 1240, 6690 minus 7,000 gives me minus 310, 7750 minus 7,000 gives me 750, 4920 minus 7,000 gives me minus 2080. In the same manner, 6100 minus 7,000 gives me minus 900, 7810 minus 7,000 gives me 810, 7050 minus 7,000 gives me 50, 6950 minus 7,000 gives me minus 50. If I add all these, this will give me summation d. Summation d is equal to minus 7350. I had to put all this in this formula, and what I will get, x bar is equal to a I have assumed as 7,000 plus summation d was minus 7350 minus 7350 divided by n was 10. So, if I solve this question, what I will get is 7,000, since it is minus of 735. If I solve it further, what I will get? I will get 6265. So, here the average income in this case and the average income in the last case, that means here also it was 6265. In both the cases the same question, in both the cases the answer remains same. If we use direct method or shortcut method, it totally depends upon your choice. Which method you want to use, both will give you the same answer. Now, moving ahead, now we calculate the there are two more different methods as to how to solve the questions. Simple arithmetic mean can be solved by two more methods. One is called as discrete series and the other is called as calculation of arithmetic mean. The last question which we did, that was an individual series, but there are two different kinds of series as well. One is called as discrete series and the other is called as continuous series. What is discrete series, what is continuous series, what are different formulas, how we solve them, we will study them also. Discrete series, continuous series, individual series, all are studied, all are worked by two different methods. One is called as direct method and the other is called as shortcut method. The way we have solved the last question by the help of two different methods, in the same manner we will solve discrete series and continuous series by two different methods. One is called as direct method and the other is called as a shortcut method. In direct method, when we talk about a discrete series, I will tell you what is a discrete series in the next question. Direct method, what we are supposed to do, there is a frequency given. What is a frequency? Frequency means that for example, in the last, if we take the last example, this income 4780, it is for how many people? This income of 4780 is given to how many people is called as a frequency. So, here in direct method, when we talk about discrete series, this frequency is being multiplied by your x, the data which is given to you, and divided by the total number of people, total number of employees who are given. So, f is the frequency, x is the variables of the equation, n is the total number of observations which is given by summation of f. The shortcut method, the way we have in the individual series, as we have assumed sum as a mean, in the same manner in shortcut method as well, we are assuming something as some variable as a. So, plus summation of f d divided by n, where a is the assumed mean, x is x minus a and n is the total number of observation. in the same manner in shortcut in continuous series as well, where what is a continuous series? Continuous series is a series in which the class intervals are given. So, in those type of questions, what we do is there is one direct method and the other is called as shortcut method. The direct method, it talks about frequency into your what is m? M is the midpoint of various classes. We'll do it further in the next question. Now, f is the frequency of each class and x is the variables in the equation and n is the total number of frequencies. For shortcut method as well, like we have done here A, in the same manner here also we have one assumed mean, but this f d over n, here we had f d over n, the same manner we have here f d over n, here d is the deviation of the midpoint, here d was x minus a. So, there is a slight change in the formulas, but when we will see when we will do the question, you can make out the change. The question says, from the following data, the marks obtained by 60 students of the class, calculate the arithmetic mean. Marks are given to you here, marks obtained are 20, which is obtained by how many students is 8. In the same manner, marks obtained 30, number of students obtained 30 marks is 12. So, this becomes the frequency, whereas this is represented by x. The marks obtained is represented by x, whereas number of students who obtained these marks is represented by frequency f. See here in the table, what I have written is marks is x, this marks obtained is x and number of students obtained these marks is given by f, that is frequency. If I total these number of students, we will get n, that is summation of f. Now, the formula say for the in the direct method, if we solve this question, why this question is for discrete series? Because it has frequency also attached with the data which is given to you. If it did not have the frequency, then it would have been a simple question of a individual series. Now, if the formula says summation of f x over n, I have f, I have x as well. I have what I have done, I have multiplied f into x. 20 into 8 is equal to 160, 12 into 30 gives you 360, 40 into 20 gives you 800, 50 into 10 gives you 500, 60 into 6 gives you 360, 70 into 4 gives you 280. When I do the addition of all, what I get at the end is summation of f x, which is equal to 2460. What I did is, now my formula says x bar is equal to summation of f x whole divided by n. So, I have what I have is 2460 divided by 60, it gives me 41. So, the average marks obtained by the students in the class is 41. Okay. The same question we can do by the help of shortcut method as well, and what we see is we will get the same answer. This totally depends upon you which method you want to use, whether a shortcut method or whether a direct method, totally depends upon you. Which method you are comfortable in, you can use that method. The second method is called as a shortcut method. For the same question, we have marks given to us, we have number of students given to us, it is a discrete series because we have frequency associated in the question. So, what we are supposed to say, formula tells me, for the formula says x bar is equal to a plus summation of f d whole over n. So, what is a? A is the assumed mean, from where I am supposed to assume is x, that is the marks which are given to me. I assume any as a. For example, I have assumed 40 as my a. So, putting 40 as a, what I am supposed to do is, now further what I am supposed to do, I am supposed to find out x minus a. What is x? X is 20, a is 40. So, 20 minus 40 gives me minus 20, 30 minus 40 gives me minus 10, 40 minus 40 gives me 0, 50 minus 40 gives me 10, 60 minus 40 gives me 20, 70 minus 40 gives me 70 minus 40 gives me 30. Now, the formula asks you f into d. What next you are supposed to do? You have f, you have d with you. So, you are supposed to just multiply. 8 into 20 gives you 160 minus 160, 12 into minus 10 gives you 120, 20 into 0, anything multiplied by 0 gives you 0, 10 into 10 gives you 100, 6 into 20 gives you 120, 4 into 30 gives you 120. When I add all these, I will get summation of f d, that is equal to 60, because it was being needed in the formula. So, what I do is, I have A, I have summation f d, I have n. So, what I do, 40 plus 60 whole divided by n was 60. Why? From where this n got? You have got the n from number of students, that is the frequency. The total number of frequency is equal to n, which is equal to 60. So, what I get is 40 plus 1 gives me 41. So, here also the average becomes 41, and the last question here also we have the average as 41. So, using any of the method, we get the same answer as 41. Okay. So, now next question talks about the continuous series, as to what is a continuous series. Continuous series is a series in which we have class intervals associated with us. Continuous series is a series in which we have very big population, very big data, and we divide that data into segments. How that segment is to be formed is depending upon the class. This is called as a class 0 to 10. For example, if we want to find out as to the age of people living in a particular area, for example. So, how many people are from the age group of 0 to 10? How many people are there in the age group of 10 to 20? How many are in the age group of 20 to 30? See, we cannot calculate, we cannot have a whole lot that 1 year age is these many students, these many people, 2 years these many people, 3 years these many. So, what we have done? We have classified this data into different groups. That group is called as a class interval. So, in the same manner, the question says, from the following data compute arithmetic mean. Here in this question, class interval is given to you and the number of students, that means frequency is given to you. How many students lies between 0 to 10 class? How many students lies between the class 10 to 20? How many students lies between 20 to 30? This is called as a class interval. Number of students, it is basically what it is called as, it is called as f. So, the marks obtained by student, by 5 students lies between the class interval 0 to 10. 10 students obtained the marks which are between the class interval 10 to 20. 25 students obtained marks which lies between 20 to 30. 30 students obtained marks which lies between 30 to 40. 30 students obtained marks which lies between 30 to 40. 20 students obtained marks which lies between 40 to 50, and there are 10 students whose marks lies between 50 to 60. If we add number of students here, we will get f, that is the total frequency, the total strength of the class, and we have added here, it came out to be 100. Marks obtained are called as the class interval which are 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. Now, the frequency as well, 0 to 10, what is the frequency? 5 is given to us, 10 to 20 the frequency is 10, 20 to 30 frequency is 25, and so on, 50 to 60 the frequency is 10. Now, what is called as a midpoint? When we have these kind of questions, when class interval is given to you, you are supposed to find out what is the midpoint. Midpoint of what we will take? Midpoint of class interval we will take. That means 10 and 0. What is the midpoint between 10 and 0? If we will count, the 5 is the midpoint. 5 is the number which is in the mid of 0 and 10. How we will calculate midpoint is basically we do 0 plus 10 divided by 2, which is equal to 5. Though this 5 becomes the midpoint here. Next, we have 10 plus 20 divided by 2 is equal to 20. 10 plus 20 gives you 30, divided by 2 which gives you 15. This 15 becomes the midpoint. So, we calculate, you can do it directly or you can apply the formula to find out the midpoint. So, 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, it becomes the midpoint. The formula demands us summation of Fm over n. We have F, we have m. Now, one more column has to be built here which talks about f. We will directly multiply these two numbers, f into m. 5 into 5 gives me 25, 15 into 10 gives me 150, 25 into 25 gives me 625, 30 into 35 gives me 1050, 45 into 20 gives me 900, 55 into 10 gives me 550. If I add them all, what I will get? I will get summation of Fm, that is summation of what I have multiplied here. I will get summation of Fm is equal to 3300. That means, if I will put my formula asks me summation of Fm, I will put this value 3300 here. So, 3 Fm summation of Fm is equal to 3300, n is equal to 100. If I divide my summation Fm whole divided by n, which is equal to 3300 divided by my 100, it becomes 33. It becomes 33 because these 0 have been, this 0 has been cut by the 100 in the denominator. So, it becomes 33. My answer for this question becomes 33. Compute the arithmetic mean. The arithmetic mean for this question, for this class, becomes 33. That means, minimum 33 marks has been obtained by all the students in the class on an average. Now, this question we did by the help of direct method. The same question if we do by the help of shortcut method, again in the shortcut method there is a assumed mean. Fine. The shortcut method, the same question we will try to find out and we will get the same answer as well. That is why I am telling you, any method you practice for a single question, either a direct method or a shortcut method, you will land on the same answer. Now, the same question, shortcut method, if I want to have the same by the same data for the shortcut method, the midpoints, we will find out the midpoints by how we will do it, 0 plus 10 divided by 2. Midpoints we can do by the help of the first 0 plus 10 divided by 2 gives me 5. So, this 5 becomes the midpoint. In the same manner, if we talk about the midpoint for the second one, m is equal to 10 plus 20 divided by 2, which is equal to 30 divided by 2, which is equal to 15. So, in the same manner, we have calculated the second midpoint, that is equal to 15. In the same manner, we will find out the other midpoints as well, 25, 35, 45, 55. Lower class limit plus your upper class limit divided by 2 gives you the midpoint. Frequency was given, already given in the question, where n, if we total all the frequencies, we will get n is equal to 100. Now, the formula says A. What is A here? A is equal to the midpoint which we have taken, m, which we have found out, m minus A. What is A? A is again a assumed mean, and from where we are supposed to assume? We are supposed to assume from the midpoint and not from the class intervals. Here we will assume A from the midpoints. For example, I have assumed this as A. So, A 35 becomes my assumed mean. What I am supposed to do is m minus 35, because m minus A. So, m minus A becomes my D. So, 5 minus 35 gives me minus 30, 15 minus 35 gives me 20, 25 minus 35 gives me 10, 35 minus 35 gives me 0, 45 minus 35 gives me 10, 55 minus 35 gives me 20. This becomes my D. Now, the formula asks me f into D, summation of f into D. I have f, I have D as well. So, I will multiply these two and I will have one more column of f D. So, 5 into 30 gives me 150, and since there was a minus sign associated with 30, so I have 150. 10 into 20 gives me minus 200, because there is a minus sign associated with 20. 25 into minus 10 gives me minus 250. 30 into 0 gives me 0. 20 into 10 gives me 200. 10 into 20 gives me 200. If I summation, if I add all these numbers, if I add all the FD, I will get summation of FD which is equal to minus of 200. What the formula is asking me? The formula is asking me arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean is equal to assumed mean plus summation of FD divided by n. Assumed mean, what I have assumed here is 30. So, 30 plus summation FD I have got minus 20, minus 200 sorry, minus 200 divided by 100. So, here also arithmetic mean becomes 33. In the earlier the same question, earlier also we have got 33, here also we have got 33. So, this also shows if the same question is solved by two different methods, the answer remains same. Now, the earlier question had equal class intervals, but if we do not have equal class interval, how to solve that question? Equal class interval means in the earlier question we had 0 to 10, difference is 10, 10 to 20, the difference is 10, 20 to 30, difference is 10, 30 to 40, difference is 10. So, when we have the difference is same in the class interval, that becomes the equal class interval question, but this question shows you a class interval question which has class interval. For example, 0 to 10 the difference is 10, 10 to 30 the difference is 20, 30 to 60 the difference is 30 and 60 to 100 the difference is 40. So, this is the unequal class interval. In order to find out arithmetic mean, the formula we are supposed to use is x bar is equal to a plus summation f d whole over n into c. What is c? C is the common factor. C is the common factor from your midpoints. Common factor is a number which can divide all the midpoints and can give you a whole number, that is called as a common factor. So, these midpoints can be divided by 1, we do not take 1, 2, we cannot divide 5 and we cannot divide 45. So, we cannot take 2 as a common factor, but what we can take as a common factor is 5. So, here we have taken common factor C is equal to 5. Class intervals are unequal, so we have taken 5 as the common factor. Midpoints, the same manner we are supposed to calculate the midpoints. Midpoints m is equal to 0 plus 10 divided by 2, which gives me 5. So, this 5 becomes my midpoint. 10 plus 30 divided by 2 gives me 20. So, 20 becomes my midpoint. 30 plus 60 divided by 2 gives me 45. So, 45 becomes my midpoint. 60 plus 100 divided by 2 gives me 80. So, 80 becomes my midpoint. So, we have got we have obtained the values for midpoint, we have frequencies with us given to us. When we multiply these two, we do not need, but we have one more formula, that is m minus a. What is a? A is assumed mean from midpoints. For example, I have assumed 45 as a. So, m minus a, 5 minus 45 gives me minus 40 divided by 5 gives me minus 8. In the same manner, 20 minus 45 divided by 5. So, 20 minus 45 minus 45 divided by 2, it gives me divide by 5, sorry, divide by 5 that give me 0. 80 minus 45 divide by 5 give me 7. Now, what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to multiply our f into our d. 5 into 8 minus 40, 12 into minus 5 gives me minus 60, 25 into 0 gives me 0, 8 into 7 gives me 56. If I add all the FD's frequencies into D, what I will get? I will get minus 45. Putting all of them in the formula, what I have is, putting all in the formula, what I have here, a plus summation FD over n into C. I have a as 45, I have summation FD as minus 44, I have n is equal to 50, I have C is equal to 5. If I put all of them in the formula, I will get x bar, arithmetic mean is equal to 40.6. So, this is the formula in case we have unequal class intervals, and this is the case when we have equal class interval. The formula almost remains same, but what we have done here in unequal class intervals, we have multiplied it with the common factor. When the data is inclusive with you, you need not to adjust the class intervals when we talk about mean, but it is not in the case of median and mode. That is all for this session. Thank you.